Let's go.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
And here we are now live on another episode of the Dorkening. And with us, as always, we have James. Was that short enough for you?
So it was fantastic. Wow. I mean, I could have ordered a pizza, and I think Domino's would have been here in time. You know.
Yeah. Yo.
Hey, everybody. That wasn't too bad.
No.
Maybe because it was on mute on my end.
That could be. I just shared it long enough for me, or played it long enough for me to share. Steven!
Hello, everyone. And time passed by with that intro, so.
Oh, yeah. The music's groovy, you know? Yeah. So, Nintendo Direct, what the fuck was that?
Them announcing things.
Okay, so they made a big thing. This is the longest Nintendo Direct in like eons. And
Since September.
I thought it was longer than September.
No, it was September. I think it was September 2019.
But one that long? I thought they made a big thing about it being long.
No, because they've only done like little mini ones.
Maybe you made a big thing about it?
The interwebs.
Because the internet's always right, Leo.
They did a big one for Mario 35 last year.
Oh, okay. And where was Zelda 35?
You saw it. It was Skyward Sword because nobody asked for that.
No.
Japanese are the greatest trolls of them all, because when the guy who created Zelda went on, the first thing he said was, we don't have anything new for Zelda for you right now. Yep. He knew to troll all of us with that.
Well, no, he was right, because they didn't really have anything special for Zelda.
But they're working on it. Japanese are the greatest trolls of them all.
Okay, if they were to release something or say something about Zelda, what would you want?
There's not like I wouldn't want like a Zelda All-Stars. I wouldn't want that. I think I mean, you had Link Awakening to come out last year, which was really good. That was such a nice little pleasant surprise. I know a lot of people were asking for like an HD remaster of like Majora's Mask, but again, I wasn't a fan of Majora's Mask. I think it paled in comparison to Ocarina of Time. And again, I'm not an Ocarina of Time fan either.
Yeah.
I still think Link to the Past is the best one.
Yep.
But again, it's one of those things like Link to the Past is already on the Super Nintendo online thing.
Yeah, but it's not remastered.
But again, it's still pixel perfect. It's still a HD port of the game.
Yeah.
In what do I want a 3D interpretation of that game? No, I think it's good how it is. But again, what I would have loved is, an update on Breath of the Wild 2, which they said they don't have. They're working on it, but there isn't anything to show, which I was okay about. But it's not one of those games where you can do like the Mario 35 thing they're doing on Switch Online. There's not much you can do with that character without releasing a new game. And in all the games that needed a remaster, the Skyward Sword right now is the only one who did have an HD remastered yet. Twilight Princess had it for the Wii U. You had Wind Waker for the Wii U as well. I mean, Ocarina of Time was done for what? One of the portables was it the DS had an HD remaster?
Yep.
I believe so. Yeah.
So, for me, I would have loved some swag and like some cool stuff like that. I think the Joy-Cons are really cool.
Yeah.
I'll probably get
those. Those are cool in my opinion. Or they should have been like learned to Switch.
Yeah, I know. Well, they just did the Mario Switch. So, but like you're right. I wish they did something bigger. My whole thing with Nintendo right now is like, yeah, I don't mind some of the IP, the stuff coming out, but man, some of those original IPs, I would love a new. What's going on with Metroid? Like, give me something new about Metroid. Like, I'm okay with Mario, and I'm okay with, Zelda, and the stuff that's coming out with Zelda is really good. So I'm not upset. But like, what's going on with like Metroid and some of like the classic Nintendo properties that just seem to just have disappeared. I know they're doing a Legend of Mana remastered, which looks pretty nice. I mean, I wouldn't mind an Earthbound remaster. That would have been really cool.
That was Legend of Mana, not Secret of Mana.
Legend of Mana.
Yeah, Legend of Mana. Yeah, it's still remastered.
But they have a Trials of Mana collection where Secret of Mana is in there.
Okay, see, I don't remember Legend of Mana. I remember Secret of Mana.
I mean, the announcement of that, what is it, 20 Wild, whatever it was, the 22 minutes before their universe, that game looks really good. I actually my ears went up when I saw that one.
Yeah.
But again, I don't care about Splatoon. I feel like that's one of those games where they're going to start pumping out faster and faster.
Stubbs the Zombie is the one that piqued my interest because I remember playing that game on the original Xbox and seeing it get a Switch port. Even though it's going to get an Xbox Series X and PS5 port, but seeing it get a Switch port, that got my attention.
So, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, maybe my my expectations are really low right now because, like I said, I think I'm still waiting for to get a PS5 and start upgrading some of those games and of course Mass Effect that's the big thing on my horizon.
We're not getting PS5 anytime soon.
Well, how many times have you bought Elder Scrolls? So Logan plays the Switch more than I do. Every time I'll play like Super Mario Maker, which I still love. I think that's such a cool game concept. But again, it's like, what would you expect from a Zelda news? Take Breath of the Wild out of it. Like, what old game would you like to see remastered or available on the Switch?
Wind Waker HD.
Okay.
Ocarina of Time.
I didn't care for Ocarina. The N64 games didn't really do it for me.
Do yourself a favor and Google sequelitis, and there's a whole 32-minute thing about how Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is bad. It's done by Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps. It's hilarious because it literally is just like they talk about like Zelda 1 and Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, and basically being like how like Ocarina of Time changed Zelda for the worst. Yeah, because they had to make it to a 3-dimensional game. And it's just funny. I watch it every once in a while. It's like 5 or 6 years old, but it's definitely worth like a chuckle if you're a Zelda fan.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I love the original Zelda. And when Zelda 2 came out, it was like, holy shit, they made a sequel to this amazing game. And even though I shouldn't have liked it, I liked it because it was a Zelda sequel. And then Link to the Past is that's the peak right there. And it was just all downhill from there.
I mean, I never played Skyward Sword. I just know it was really bad. So I looked at Jen. I was like, I might have to get that now to see if it truly is as bad as everybody said it was. Like I said, for me, I jumped around with my Zelda. I had played Zelda 1 for a while. Because we had it when we had a Nintendo. That was one of the games we had. I feel like Zelda and Mario were the 2 games everybody had.
Yeah.
And then randomly Back to the Future was always some random game somebody had as well.
Prerequisites to having the system.
What was that?
Those were prerequisites for having that system. Like if you didn't have that, then there's something greatly was wrong with you.
But it had to be the Mario Duck Hunt version, not just Mario by itself.
Oh yeah.
Many a night today, shoot ducks and get pissed off at that stupid ass dog.
But you can shoot the dog in the arcade.
But,
why would I do that?
that's why would you do
It's
that?
annoying.
ASPCA.
And Steven, there is a ghouls.
Dead.
Steven, there is a ghouls and ghosts that you can shoot upwards. I forgot what
that looked good. That actually looked pretty interesting. Was the Ghouls and Ghosts that used like a co-op game now?
Yeah.
This game is still unbelievably difficult, which I like. But also, there was like the Ninja Gaiden collection was pretty interesting. It was just a lot of hype for not a lot of substance. But again, this was only supposed to be for the first half of the year, so I'm really curious what's coming out quarter 3 and quarter 4. So I bet you there'll be more probably around August or something like that.
Yeah.
The thing that caught me was not the direct itself, but the trailer for a Nintendo documentary they dropped 2 hours beforehand about Nintendo itself.
Yeah, I'm kind of irritated because, like I said, Consoles Wars was such a good series.
Yes.
And it was such a good movie. And that was only from the Sega side, so I'm curious to see it from Nintendo's side.
Yeah.
And it looks like Nintendo was very wide open to this too. They kind of did they produce it or were they just okayed?
From the looks of it, it seems like they're going through the history of Nintendo, and then you have one guy that's just going to give you all the dirt about Nintendo and why they're always number 3 in console wars and all that stuff. So,
well, they were number 3 because they swung and missed at a disc drive system.
Yeah, so it's narrated by Sean Astin. It has
there we go.
In it. It has a bunch of people. I'm
Wheaton.
interested in seeing it. So I've been on a documentary binge lately. So
yeah, Jen's been watching that Heaven's Gates show documentary on HBO Max. So
it was depressing but good.
Yeah, that's what Jen says. People just got up and left their family and never came back.
Wow.
The one I saw recently on Netflix was Crime Scene: The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah, we recorded today. Jay was talking about that too.
Yeah.
So
they've been covering the Cecil Hotel.
I've heard about the whole Cecil Hotel thing, but I haven't watched that documentary. I think I've watched enough things on it to.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a spooky story, but chances are she just. I mean, the one woman that is featured on it is she just got crazy and climbed into a water tank.
And that's one of the theories they talk about, but it's just if you watch it, they go into more other things, and you just build your own theories from there. But it's really interesting if you're, a true crime person and you like watching.
I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it.
Aliens.
Just shakes his
head. If you want to get a chuckle, and I enjoy watching it too, but the latest episode of Ancient Aliens, and it's all their specialists in a round table.
Why would you subject yourself to that?
No, hold on. Here's a twist with Will Shatner, and he's asking them to convince him about Ancient Aliens. So it was a good watch. It's a 2-hour watch, but it was a good watch. I'll watch it a couple more times as I fall asleep.
Basically, no, I've been watching. I watched Clarice this past week.
Yeah, how was that?
How was that? That didn't make it.
So they can't use the word Hannibal Lecter. They are verboten to use Lecter at all. They don't have the rights to him. They only have rights to the Silence of the Lambs book. They don't have rights to the Red Dragon or Hannibal or the character Hannibal. Okay, that's
So they
great.
call them each, or
No, it's so they so it takes place a year after the Buffalo Bill murders. And so like it basically brings you up like right off the bat, she's talking to a psychiatrist, and it's like, well, your last psychiatrist was in the insane asylum, the high security insane asylum at Baltimore Memorial Hospital. And that's like all they say about it. And she was like, it was quid pro quo, and she wanted this to get this information. And the person who's playing Clarice is really good. Like she's a really good actress, and I'm giving her like she has the drawl and everything. It's just turning into like a police procedural. Oh, the Senator Martin, whose daughter gets kidnapped, is now the Attorney General. So now, she has a war against serial killers because what they did to her daughter. But it's very interesting. The one thing I did like about it though was it basically tells like they talk about how like Clarice has connected with all the families of the 6 people who died before he got caught, and built a relationship with the family, but she hasn't talked to Catherine Martin since that day. And so like there's a whole scene where like she calls and they talk for the first time in a year, and Catherine Martin's lost like a ton of weight, and she's like literally gone crazy because of like what they went through and like the post-traumatic stress, and it like affects her. It's actually like really well done. I'm giving it another episode or two to see if I can kind of hook on it. I really wasn't impressed by it overall, like, but there were just moments of it. I was like, okay, I see what they're trying to do here. But as you can't talk about Lecter, it's very hard for it to be like a Silence of the Lambs sequel. And I get you want to focus on Clarice because that's like where the heart of the show is. And it's like they added this thing where she's now working for the detective who she upstaged in the Buffalo Bills thing, the Buffalo Bills case, that he was the lead detective.
Why was
but
he
now
working
he's
for
working
him?
because the AG puts her under him, and basically the AG just wants her to keep saying these are all serial killers, all this stuff. And I'm like, like this is ridiculous. And I'm just sitting there being like, I don't know what to do right now. Like, and it's like, and he's basically just like, shut up and just do what you told. And you got lucky with Buffalo Bill, you stumbled upon it and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't care.
Just real quick, Facebook user,
character development.
We did not talk about WandaVision yet.
So, it's just one of those things. Like, again, I'm going to give it another episode too. I know it's at like 38%. Yeah. Right. Like she has the cadence down. It's very well. Like Catherine Martin has the dog, Buffalo Bill's dog still. So it's like that whole like dynamic. And we'll see. I just hope it's not like a procedural type of thing where it's kind of leaning that way. Because I'm like, that shouldn't be. It should be like an arc that like he's following another serial killer, and that's what she does. And they were hinting at that, but it's just like I just don't get it. And I think on like Rotten Tomatoes, it's at like a 52 on viewer score and a 38 on critic score. It's like it's not doing so. I don't even know how it did for ratings, but the marketing worked for me, which that got me hooked. But again, I don't think it's long for this world.
Yeah,
but it's if you have Leo Pond's login information for CBS All Access, or if you watch the Super Bowl, there's this thing called Paramount Plus coming out. That starts in a couple weeks, but to watch it, it's. You'll waste 45 minutes, but at least you'll know what I'm talking about.
You have my login?
Yeah, you gave it to me.
Oh yeah,
so I can watch Picard.
Oh yeah. And did you watch Discovery? Did you end up?
I already told you about Discovery. I'm done with Discovery.
No, please watch Discovery.
No, it lost me in the first season.
No,
Sorry.
it grew to beard. It grew to beard.
Sorry, I have to. I got through the first season of Next Generation. That's a tough watch. Getting to the first season of Next Generation, I couldn't even make it through Discovery.
Well, the first season, just leave off the first season because it's just start with.
Okay, I will watch the second season, Leo. I know I watched a little Tribble video, which was fantastic.
Yeah, it's start with season 2, and then let me know. But one thing we can all be happy about is WandaVision.
You okay there?
Yeah.
Wanda with you.
WandaVision. Have you seen that
broke the
WandaVision?
ass.
It's
Okay.
pretty fucking cool.
So the underbellies of the interwebs.
Why do you go there?
I'm not going to
Why?
spoil anything, but it is so friggin' funny.
You just chuckled to yourself like, what's happening?
No, there's a friggin' war happening in the spoilers community where they were getting so hostile. People would like speculate, yeah, well, I think this is going to happen. And it's all Mephisto and all that shit. And because
I'm going to die laughing if he's nowhere in this series. I will die laughing if it showed like he has nothing to do with this.
Here's the thing is they're saying that he's not, because now this is not a spoiler. It's just because they wouldn't be able to sell it to the market in China, the Asian market.
That's why he's not called the devil. That's why he's called Mephisto. Like,
Yeah, but yeah. So there's wars happening. It's just people getting so upset because you get some people that follow these, certain leakers, and then there's other leakers that have fans, and you post a theory and you're like, no, you're wrong because this so and so leaker said so. There's one leaker.
Yeah, that's why no one on this
Or
page
we
other
can
than
just
you.
say,
What's that, Yo-Yo?
we can just let things happen in the show and enjoy it. They're trying to ruin everything for us.
Yeah.
It's
I know. I'm just addicted though. It's yeah. But I'm interested in the community that's been growing up. There's been some cool behind the scenes shots that have been leaked. And Funko released a big leak this week, and I'm not going to say what it is, but so. What did you think of WandaVision?
I liked it. I think they're definitely growing more of the story. I'm very glad that the next 3 episodes are an hour each to kind of wrap up the series.
I read that wasn't confirmed, and
Kevin Feige said it was an hour.
okay. I just
If I hear Kevin Feige said, I'm taking it to the bank.
Will Kat Dennings get powers? We don't.
You mean like meow?
Meow. Meow.
Yes, her sassiness will get even more sassiness. Her sass power will be magnified.
I liked the meme someone posted of it was just on the next WandaVision. It showed a picture of Kat Dennings in a waitress outfit.
Oh yeah.
The two places or something like that.
2 broke girls.
2 broke girls. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome show.
Well, I enjoyed it very much. Especially this episode where it was definitely Malcolm in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that way they did it was very cool. Like, and because you got it more from the kids, and I'm starting to love these kids. Like, they're really like their personalities are definitely showing a little bit more. But Evan Peters, man, that was his episode to steal, and he stole it.
Did you get the meta kick-ass?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think everybody's making a bigger deal out of that because he literally just said kick ass. I don't think it was supposed to be like super like he likeness of that episode.
Well, and then she inquisitively said kick ass. So
again, it's a 90s show. I
Yeah.
think kick ass was kind of the go-to word that was safe to say.
Yeah.
That's the thing that kind of bugs me now with this one. Every episode of WandaVision, people just dissect it with a fine-tuned comb. And the thing like the kick-ass thing, that they think, oh, it's got to automatically be something that's going to be linked to the final episode.
Oh,
Like we talked
yeah.
about last week, it's just, people can leave their Reddit theories at the door and just enjoy their yeah.
Oh, I'm enjoying it, and I have my own theories, and
Other way. Nope, other way. There you go.
I I haven't read anything. If it gets too spoilerish, I pull away, so that
If it gets too spoilerish,
I will say,
he has a little blanket he puts up over his eyes.
I will say one thing. If you guys haven't done the math, Leo said there was 3 1-hour episodes left. That puts us at the 12th. The final episode will be the 12th, and then Falcon Winter Soldier is the next week.
no. Okay. Oh, so
Yes.
okay, so they're saying it's gonna be 9 episodes that would end on like the 7th, and then the 12th is the making of. But there's a chance there may be a 10th episode that will air the same day.
Well, either way, Falcon.
Yeah, it's the 19th, 26th, and the 5th are the next 3.
Yeah.
So. Falcon
No,
Winter
I mean,
Right.
like I said, I enjoyed it. You're getting more of Vision a little bit. James, you're wrong. About what? I'm wrong about a lot of things. That's why I have a podcast. It's I can scream into the vacuum and I don't take criticism. So if you think I'm wrong, start a podcast and tell me that I'm wrong. James is wrong podcast. There you go. I'll produce it. I'm enjoying like how you're getting more into Vision, and it's very much what was interesting too, and I was watching with Jen, and we watched it again with Logan, because that's one of the cool things with Logan. We get to watch it twice. Is how he's knows what's going on, but he knows it's a game a little bit, because like, remember, he goes, well, this is the only thing in my closet, and then kind of made like a joke about it afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's like he knows what's going on, especially being like when he looked at her and was like, be good. So it's very much like, is he playing to the camera, or is he playing like is it to her directly and they don't see that, and then because he plays to the camera like, and I'm off, like that whole like two different things. So I'm enjoying that very much. But like I said, I can't take any more of the giant ass breadstick that is called the Fantastic Four being beaten over the head. I know on Nerdist News's breakdown, they had 2 really good things on it. One was the foreign language dub of the I Know What Aerospace Engineer was a feminine pronouns. And so that now they're hinting, like that could be Susan Storm is your aerospace engineer, and that's not Reed Richards, but it's still a Fantastic Four. But then it turned into is Sword building Sentinels?
Yeah.
Sentient weapons program. Like,
well, sentient weapons program could also be Wolverine, Weapon X.
That's what they're hinting at too. It's the precursor to the Weapon X program.
And did you see the behind the scene shot that they released with?
No, I don't, because I don't watch that stuff.
It's not a spoiler. It's a scene we've seen, but only so when they show the footage of her going after to get Vision, and all you see is it on a security camera, black and white, hazy. Mm-hmm. They released the behind the scenes shot of that with Vision all sprawled out, and it's pretty fun.
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. They said that, like, that's the big thing is, what is he doing? Like, they want to get Vision back. They don't care about Wanda. They want Vision. Like, so why do they want Vision so badly? That's like the interesting thing. And then the ending, that cliffhanger at the end of that episode was fantastic. I thought that was very, very well done. It definitely shows you how powerful she is. But again, that conversation between her and Pietro was so good. Like, and where he's literally being like, "How'd you do it?" Like, very being like, he goes, "I know this is fake. Like, how are you doing? Like, we're all these kids. Were they just in their beds waiting for the command to like wake up?" And it was like all this stuff, and I'm sitting there being like, because then it's like, well, is he really Quicksilver, or is he Mephisto, or is he somebody that Sword dropped in there as like something that she could like envision? We don't know, because it seems like it's the same interaction that she has with him that she has with her kids. She really can't control them.
So here's my theory. He does mention hell quite a few times. I think maybe he's going to be not Quicksilver, but we will still see the Fox Quicksilver. He had to pull that from some reference, and I think he pulled it from the Quicksilver from the multiverse.
Well, I know they were hinting that Evan Peters was going to be Mephisto, if anything, just to bring those different worlds together, just by different people playing different characters. So, like I said, it's just going to get better. It's very interesting. You did not see what happened to Kat Dennings' character.
No,
but you saw what happened to everybody else that got sucked into the hex.
The new poster though hints about what she is, though.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think like a cashier or something like that is hinting at.
Like I said, I'm very interesting to like I see what happened, but like I know that like now they're setting up Monica Rambeau superhero. They're like I said, they've teed that up pretty easily. And I love the new thing is they look at I don't know if you've seen this, the sword logo. They were like, that looks like a pretty good spot for a Fantastic Four shield to be put right over that circle.
Oh, and somebody mentioned that the sword uniforms look like Fantastic Four uniforms.
That's what I just said.
Oh no, I mean the color scheme. The color scheme. Not the logo.
I think he's talking about you.
Again, I literally just said, Monica Rambeau's shirt looks like you just have to put a Fantastic Four logo on it.
Okay, I gotcha. I thought
when hosts don't listen.
I listen.
And someone just said this exact same thing.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Nerdist said it, and I was talking to Jen about it. And what if it's not Reed Richards or Susan Storms? It's Von Doom. He is working with Sword instead of Reed Richards. What if that could be something that they put on there as, oh, she's working with Von Doom instead of Reed Richards?
That could be too.
Do you guys know who's the odds-on favorite to play Von Doom?
Mark Strong.
No. Well, there's, I don't know if the bookmaker, this was months ago, so it could have changed, but the bookmakers have put like a 95% chance that Giancarlo Esposito is the odds-on favorite to play Von Doom.
I wouldn't mind that. I feel like he's just getting cast as the villain a lot of things, which I'm okay with.
I don't mind. Breaking Bad, Mandalorian.
But for me, it's
better to be typecast than not typecast at all.
I mean, for me, I'm just very curious to see what his Latvian accent is going to be. Because it can't be any worse than Elizabeth Olsen's accent, whatever that is. Like I said, the show has definitely lived up to the hype. I mean, that yogurt commercial was definitely unsettling.
Yeah. So what's your okay? So there's multiple theories going around whether the commercials are her parents, the commercials are the Infinity Stones, the commercials.
I think the parents are her parents. I'm on board with that one, because it's been the same two people in a lot of the old time-y commercials.
Yeah.
Like the last one they were in was in the 70s commercial for the hot tub. Or no, they were in the Lagos thing as well.
Yep.
That was just like a troll thing for Civil War for Wanda.
Well, I think it's all, like, I initially thought it was the Infinity Stones. I thought it was very well done, but I think it's more of moments from her life, like the Stark technology toaster as it's blinking. Because remember, they said a bomb landed in their apartment and it just beeped and flashed, and they were waiting for this thing to detonate, and it never did.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what the next one was Strucker. So who did the testing? It was Strucker, and Lagos was that. Like you had the Tesseract, all this stuff, and it was just very interesting, and in the way like they broke it down. We were talking about it was just makes sense to me. Like it's all these things that she went through, these trials and traumas. So,
Yep.
We'll see.
Sergio, we are talking about WandaVision. If you haven't figured it out.
Well, the one thing was interesting, and I never, and this is something I never ever fucking realized this till this past weekend. Wanda got her powers from the Mind Stone.
Yes.
Which is in Vision's head.
Yep.
So could there be some sort of connection in which, because she's made out of the same energy, he doesn't need the Mind Stone to be Vision? Like I literally, no joke, I sat there with Jen being like, I totally forgot that. Like I just never realized that till right now, that they both came from the same power source. So maybe that's something that's like why they're so connected.
Think about the comics, Adam Warlock. Like
the comic, Adam Warlock does not exist until Guardians 3. Come on. And even then he's not gonna have a stone.
He needs to be Keanu Reeves. That's all I say.
I'm all set with Keanu Reeves casting because I literally feel like he's playing the same character.
There was talks of being Kraven the Hunter in a Spider-Man.
And then he shot that down. He's like, I don't want that. Like he even came out and says, I don't want that role.
Yeah, he needs to be some badass good guy.
No.
Like, but even like Bill and Ted, man, it wasn't like.
No, he needs to be Adam Warlock.
Can we just talk about the title for the next Matrix movie? Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they need to resurrect that money.
Yeah, basically, like Neo's coming back. We already knew that was happening. It's a Jesus allegory. Come on.
No, my opinion on Resurrections is when you give a movie the title Resurrections, it doesn't go well for the movie, the box office. Doesn't go
well, we're talking about like Aliens.
Alien Resurrection, RoboCop Resurrection, Tupac Resurrection.
Okay, so three of four those four movies were direct-to-DVD movies, other than Alien Resurrection, which if you read the troubled past about that movie should never have been made. Again, insofar that title has not been confirmed by Warner Brothers, it's only been in the crew gifts, which a lot of times does not dictate the title, because if they get pushback on Resurrections, you don't think they're just going to call it The Matrix, like they've been calling a lot of things, like whatever. They're just going back to original titles like Halloween. So my thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if they call it Matrix, and that's the end of it. I'm actually still looking forward to that, even though like it's been some interesting stuff has been.
Too bad they already used Matrix Reloaded.
I like the sequels. I'm on that very small island who likes the sequels. Again, I said small island. I don't care if I'm an island of one. I actually, like I said, when I was in college, I looked into like my old school had like a Matrix class for my film program, and I really, really wanted to take it, but you had to take like philosophy 101 or like the first philosophy 1, then the Matrix was like philosophy 2. I actually bought like a couple books and stuff like that. It's just it's a cool movie, and I love the Animatrix, and I love that universe they were building. Again, was it a perfect movie? Oh, God, no. But like, I like the third movie. I kind of like how they kind of went off the rails a little bit, because it's very easy to go off the rails when you see people in pods. Like once you do that far, you're like, what else can I get away with? And then that final fight scene with Hugo Weaving, it's just an awesome fight scene. Like it's very well done CGI for the time. Some of that CGI just did not age well, but the fight on top of the trucks on the second movie was really good. A lot of those fight scenes were really, really well done. So, and again, I love Hugo Weaving as a bad guy. Like, he's just a good bad guy.
Did you watch the remastered Matrix where they took the green tint out?
Well, we all know why. So, the Matrix was a casualty of the times, and that was a casualty of Columbine because it came out after the shootings that they watched that lobby scene numerous times to get motivation to do the shooting at Columbine. So Warner Brothers bowed to pressure and changed it. That's why the second movie is a lot of kung fu and not a lot of gunplay. That came back a little bit more in the third one, but that was kind of like the olive branch to be like, we understand this is a sensitive topic. We're going to do our best to respect that. It's one of those things, and it's a what if game in alternate history. You know what the sequels could have possibly have been if it wasn't for Columbine. Who knows? Like I said, it could have been a completely different
What
story of
Ninja
the
Turtles
movie.
2 Secret of the Ooze could have been.
Exactly. I mean that's what it is. Like,
Sorry, just kidding.
but it's just one of those things where I think it's a very interesting way to think about it. So, but like I said, I don't mind the architect. I don't mind some of that stuff because again, and I'm one of those defenders of the Mass Effect 3 finale. Of everybody was like, wow, why wasn't there a big battle? I'm like, the whole game's about choice. Like, it's all about choice. Your choices dictate the game for all 3 games, and you're pissed at the last thing is you have to make a fucking choice. Like, there was no way this wasn't going to be that. You've already fought all the Reapers. You've already fought 2 or 3 different Reapers in different fashions throughout the series. Good. I want to make a choice. I want to see what my decisions have on the universe. And you have to make the biggest choice of them all. I'm okay with that. And everybody's like, it sucks. It sucks. Like, not every movie ending, not every video game ending needs to end in a big ass climactic fight. A simple choice is sometimes the best way to end it because there is sometimes no end closure to that choice. You don't know what's going to happen, and it makes the story continue. Like, if Mass Effect just ended with a big ass fight, I don't think it would have been. I think some fans would have been good, but it's like, what did it do? You didn't do anything. It didn't really solve the problem. Same thing with the Matrix. I think it all boils down to you have a choice here. You can save humanity or save the person you love. It's your choice, and you have to deal with the consequences. And he made that choice, and that's what happens in the third movie. And then he gave the choice to give himself for the cause and sacrifice himself or everybody else could do it. Like, that's a choice. Like, it's just that cause and effect. Oh, I sound like the second Matrix movie all of a sudden. And that's what I think I enjoy out of those movies. It's a lot of cool action, but it's the dialogue, it's the choice, it's the effect, all that stuff. So,
Okay. Well, if you get a chance, watch the
I
remake.
stick to what I said though. They probably should have waited to call a movie Matrix Reloaded for this new one.
yeah.
They had the perfect title for the new one. Just they used it way too early.
I would say, or you could do the Matrix reboot. Reboot A.
So if you get a chance, check out the Matrix Remastered on Plex.
Oh, it's not. Oh, cool. I maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, it's a definitely different watch. They updated the visuals, and it's without the green tint. It's a different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did anybody get to watch that wonderful movie trailer for a movie that nobody asked for?
So obviously we're talking about. What did you think, Yo-Yo?
Meh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's meh.
I
don't know why the fuck there were dominations in it. Like, it's supposed to be like her early years.
I'll wait. Steven?
Just to coin a phrase from Wade Wilson. Just gotta find it here. Saying it earlier. So I said earlier, and this is the best way I can say it. So dark. You sure it's not from the DC universe?
So obviously we're talking about Cruella, the trailer that just dropped today. And yeah, what the fuck? I mean, just why? And they're shoving it down your throats because money, yes, but just
So
Why does anybody do anything?
yeah.
I have the animated 101 Dalmatians. I'm sorry, James didn't get to say why his opinion on it. Go ahead, James.
Oh no,
Oh, it's fine.
he's waiting with zen-like patience.
Oh, I have plenty of time. For me, again, I get why Disney did it. Maleficent was a huge box office success. They made a fucking sequel and a movie again. No one asked for. It sounds like was in development for a very long time, and they had Emma Stone signed on very early on. So it's kind of like, well, we're kind of stuck now. Like, if we're gonna keep her, we gotta kind of make the movie. And villains right now for Disney are a hot thing. They do a villains after hours thing where it's just the villains take over the parks, and they're very good characters. And and a lot of the earlier villains, the new villains, a lot of the earlier villains, a lot of people like to know more about. Cruella de Vil, the end of her story. She tries to kill puppies. I'm sorry. I don't care how you spin this movie. She tries to kill and skin puppies to make a coat. Please, Disney, tell me how you're going to sprinkle the ice crystals from Walt's head onto this movie to make it not like, how is they're going to make her an anti-hero? How? We know what happens. Like, we know how bad she is. So nothing you do in this movie is going to change what is out there already. So it's kind of like Maleficent, you kind of rewrote her story a little bit, but it still fell into the story of Sleeping Beauty.
Yep.
Like, so tell me how this is going to fall into like 101 Dalmatians, unless you're saying like, this has nothing to do with 101 Dalmatians. This is a different storytelling. So it's not that developed. Like, yeah, it looks good. Like, she looks like a young Cruella de Vil. I'm gonna give it. It's very well cast, but it's like this movie would have been under like was it TriStone Pictures? Whatever. What was Disney's like?
Univista, Touchstone, Hollywood.
Touchstone.
Pictures.
This sounds like a Touchstone movie. It's a Disney product, but like she's drinking, they burn a house. Like, the cool reveal of her hair and stuff was really cool. Like, I was like, okay, like I get it, that's pretty awesome. But like, what, like that trailer didn't show me what the plot of this freaking movie is.
Well, obviously it's going to be why she hates puppies.
So let me.
My concern is they're going to try to make her somehow sympathetic villain.
How? But how?
As James just said,
She's gonna get
again. Like I agree with you.
They're going to
She tried to skin and murder puppies. How the hell am I going to have any sympathy?
There's so many
origin story, because if you see in the trailer, if you notice, it has a few elements from the 1962 101 Dalmatians. It has that plumbing truck where two burglars went and pulled up to that flat, just like in the animation. It has her car, just like in the animation. So it's gonna have.
So she hot wires that car, so it's not her car to begin with. Like,
I'm saying what the 95% of the bullshit we saw is probably going to be her origin story, and the other 25% of the film at the end is going to be what we know. Is probably going to be how she rose to power. Basically, a Disney villain is arrive, raise hell, raise evil, leave. So basically, she's going to arrive, do her Disney Joker, which was #1 trending for the past 12 hours today, and then they're going to set up their 101 Dalmatians remake for the third fucking time.
And like I said, Glenn Close was so good in the first live action one. But like again, you look at this being like, there's so many better villains. I want to know an origin story about other than Cruella. Like Jen brought up a great point. She goes, I would love to know Ursula's why. Why does Ursula her? Like you seem that there's something between her and King Trident. What is that? That would be a cool story to tell. Like, you know, like I said, I don't need to know an origin story of Gaston or Jafar. I mean, if it's the hot Jafar, maybe.
If they really want to do an origin story, how the Rescue Aid Society came to be. One of my favorite Disney movies, The Rescue.
Rescuers Down Under, baby, such a good movie. But like, you know, it's like they look at their catalog and it's like, well, Pixar's doing all the original stuff. Marvel is just doing their Marvel stuff, and it's just knocking it out of the park. What
Star Wars flatlining limbo.
What do we got in the vault? Can we open that vault up and see what movies we can bring back? No, put Song of the South back. Put it back. Put it back.
I will say, if they touch the rescuers, keep that shit in broomstick, I will grab my torch and pitchfork and riot. Those are two movies that I hold sacred to my heart.
But like, you know, it's like Pinocchio with Robert Zemeckis and Tom Hanks. Why? Like, I don't need another Pinocchio movie. Like, I get it. He's a fucking puppet and he goes into a whale. Like, I don't need Tom Hanks and Robert Zemeckis to tell me that. Unless he's driving a goddamn DeLorean, like, I don't give a shit. Like,
Did I didn't
watch
the live action one yet.
No, I have no desire to. Pinocchio is not one of those things it's not one of those IPs I'm like, I must see Pinocchio. Yeah. But like, you know, and so like we actually watched Moana last night with Harrison because I've been watching because he's actually likes it because of the water and stuff. And I said, I'm like, this is a good movie. Like I literally forgot how good this movie was. Same thing with like Tangled. I'm like, these are really good movies. The new stuff's really good. And you know why? Do you know why? Because they're trying new shit and they're telling brand new fucking stories. And they're taking some risks. I actually like Princess and the Frog. I actually like falling in love with that movie, how good that movie is. And I'm actually glad they're doing like more. They're doing a sequel. If Splash Mountain's also getting a Princess and the Frog overlay, which I'm very excited about.
I no.
Yeah, but
no.
they're not original stories.
I know they're not. I'm not saying they're original stories. Well, I'm saying for Disney, they're original stories.
Is that Raya and the Last Dragon a new story?
No.
Probably not.
That's been out before.
No, it's like a Chinese story.
No, with Kelly. Was it Kellyanne? She was in Tran, yeah. We feel bad for Skywalker, so here's a movie.
Yeah.
Can't give you your Instagram back, but here's a Disney movie.
Which is going to theaters and Premiere Plus. So that should be on the Plex sometime next week. No, I mean, it's just... I understand why Disney's doing it. And again, other than money, because they know they can make money because their live action stuff has done very, very well. But it's going to get a point, and they're like, that's coming out in theaters too in May. Like, good luck with that. Like anything prior to July, I'm laughing at you. Yeah. So, you know, even because there's Black Widow's getting pushed again, I'm telling you that movie just needs to go away and just release the end credit scenes because that's all anybody cares about.
What if they? Okay, I had a crazy thought about Black Widow. What if they release it at the theaters now and then no home release? So they released it, but then it's like gone. Nobody's ever going to see it.
I mean, technically, like I said last week, I mean, Black Widow dropped 3 years ago. Like, I don't know why we're waiting much longer for it. So,
yeah. With Justice League now, no one will see it in the theaters.
Exactly.
You know, Steven, I hear you have a new Patreon subscriber.
I got to get on that.
I know, and we just reviewed your movie today, and it's going to come out in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Which one did you do?
Batman versus Superman Ultimate Edition.
Thank you very
Batman
much.
vs Superman Ultimate Edition.
Oh,
Thank
we
you
got
very
it.
much. Oh, we got it.
Where's that come from?
Where's
Is that you,
come from?
Steven?
No.
Yo-yo.
Is that you, Steven?
Okay, let's try this. I'm muting Yo-Yo. Is it there? Hello?
Yo-yo's already muted.
Yo-Yo's already muted.
Yeah, it's coming from you. Yo-Yo.
Yeah, so
Okay.
is it the talking in the background?
No, it's we're hearing ourselves.
Yeah. That's odd. So Constantine series coming to HBO by
I
JJ.
don't care. Don't care.
No.
Unless you have the Constantine that has been in the Constantine in the DC animated, I don't really care. They're going to try to. They've even said they're not doing anything religious. Like,
unless they do the chain smoking Keanu Reeves one, then I'll be interested.
well, he's getting a sequel. I think. I think they've been holding on tightly to that. He's getting his own sequel, which I'm all for. But for me, like I said, they've already announced that they're staying away from like the occult and like the demons and like God and religion. I'm like, that's half his fucking thing.
Okay. Well, maybe not.
So like I said, if the guy who plays it comes back, I'm all for. I really like him as Constantine.
Yep.
So especially as I finally watched Apocalyptic Wars or Apocalyptic War, that was like really good. I enjoyed it. It was just one of those things where I was like, okay.
Was
like
that
he sold me on Constantine?
the animated one or the?
Yeah, that was the animated one. I finally sat down and watched it because I was tired of Facebook being like, check out this clip.
Oh, Apocalypse War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since you don't like that, here's something I know you'll like, James.
Since you don't like that, here's something I know you'll like, James.
And we
Yeah,
got
the Echo is fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, the Echo is fantastic.
Wednesday Addams with Tim Burton.
I'm okay with that. I'm on board with that all day.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, his phone is ringing.
I know. But who?
And I like how they're focusing on one person. I don't mind it's Wednesday. I still think Pugsley or Morticia would have been a cooler thing. But I know you get why it's Wednesday because she has the most character depth.
Yeah.
So
torturing her brother, just being all has been.
But is it the Wednesday Christina Ricci Wednesday, or is it so that means you have the new baby from Values?
I didn't watch that yet.
You've never watched Adam Family Values?
What's wrong with you?
Oh, the live action or the?
You know how long ago it came out?
Okay, I thought you meant the.
You are Mr. Debbie.
I must have watched it.
Oh my god, it's fantastic. The Values is so much better than the first one too. It's one of those comedy sequels that are so much better.
Yeah.
You.
If I did watch it, must have been like on VHS or something. I haven't seen it in a long time.
You go watch. It's the one where like they go to summer camp and it's like,
oh yes,
it's American bald eagle. I thought they were extinct. They are now. I think it's like Christina Ricci's like only sequel she's ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Casper must have scared her off for a sequel.
So I know we're running on time. Any last theories on WandaVision?
No, we'll talk about it next week. Oh, go, Steven, go.
So I saw this YouTube video. I don't know. It wasn't Nerdist. It was one of the. I think it was Lights Camera Action or something like that. Lights Camera Pod, whatever. They said that they were looking into Paul Bettany and analyzing who the big person would be at the end and analyzing Paul Bettany in an interview they had and seeing, because he said, I haven't worked with the person, but I'm looking forward to working with this person. picked off so many boxes, and they said they were looking at so many people, comparing it to who would be, in the finale. And they looked at people, we talked about last week, Magneto. You know, obviously, hate to say, Ian McKellen's Magneto wouldn't show up because he worked with Ian McKellen in Da Vinci Code. Um, have you guys ever thought about Doctor Strange? Because Doctor Strange and Vision were not together in Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War.
Well, I thought Doctor Strange was a given that we were going to see.
Yeah, because they're shooting. They shot, or they're shooting Doctor Strange now in London on one of those sound stages that they built. The Mandalorian built. That's where they're shooting everything now for Disney. It feels like on the sound stages.
Yeah, but I definitely hear you, Stephen. I that could be the person he's talking about, but I think we're going to get another surprise.
Yeah, I still think, like I said, that big reveal is still coming.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna, or like I said, it could be one of those things where, and in the way I feel like they're setting this stuff up is you have your, like I said, Kevin Feige already said, we're not doing the big arcs. Like I said last week, they're literally doing these like little mini arcs of like 3 or 4 movies or 3 or 4 series linked together just to make the story slow, because doing something as big as Infinity War is tough to do again. Because there's not another story that you could tell over that many movies. You could do Secret Invasions, but they've already kind of flipped the script on Secret Invasion a little bit, or Secret War too. We need to get like Alex on to help us out with that, with those stories. Or you could go to Splash Pages while they're talking about it currently on a previous episode.
Yesterday.
I know I remember seeing it. That's why I was like, plug, synergy. No, it's one of those things where we know that this goes into Doctor Strange, and then Doctor Strange goes into Spider-Man.
Yep.
So we know those are the 3 movies, and what we're seeing in these 3 movies, and what's the main plot here? It's alternate universes, multiverse. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm with you, Stephen, that I think Doctor Strange is going to be in it. I think I said that. We all said that last week, and to a point where that's not going to be a reveal, because Elizabeth Olsen's already been linked to both Spider-Man and Multiverse of Madness, to a point where they've also hinted that Elizabeth Olsen's the bad guy in one of the bad guys in Multiverse of Madness. So where do we go from there? I mean, realistically, if you want to throw a random name out there that we haven't heard, it could be fucking Kang the Conqueror. Or a MODOK. Like, if we want to get crazy, like those are 2 characters. Kang the Conqueror's already been announced for Ant-Man and the Wasp as their next big baddie. Could he show up in another form?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about bringing in John Krasinski for Fantastic Four?
Oh my God, that rumor has been around for what, 5 years now? Him and Emily Blunt, and I still sign off on it.
Oh yeah, because they even drew him as Reed
in the comics.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's the same thing as they asked Sam Jackson for his permission to be Nick Fury, and then when, of course, they made Nick Fury, they came to be like, "You want to be in the movie?"
Hell, they could troll us all and throw Deadpool there.
I still think Deadpool showing up in Spider-Man.
Yes.
That's my guess.
Yeah, that's probably how they'll bring him in.
Because I'm trying to think of, like, I still think you're going to something, because like I said, it's been very House of M heavy right now. And how does House of M end? No more mutants.
Yep.
I think we're still going to get that moment, but changed a little bit.
Well, they've taken even from the first WandaVision miniseries, because that takes place in a small town in New Jersey. We covered it a couple weeks back. It's when Wanda and Vision first they first got married. They're starting in their new home together. It's Halloween, and
Checks off the boxes for the minis.
yeah, Agatha Harkness is there, and yeah, it's they definitely take some bits and pieces from it. Not the whole storyline because it gets fucked up, but yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm very much, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's just going to get better. I
I
mean,
will say that I won't have to get up at 3 in the morning for this one because usually I get up for work on a Friday and I have to be at work at like 10. And usually I have to get up a little earlier. I get up at 8 to get ready for work. So I have to get up at like 6 in the morning to watch the WandaVision, then go back to sleep and get ready for work. Now there's snow coming. I can sleep in and enjoy this episode of WandaVision finally.
There you go.
For the past 6 freaking weeks, I've had to watch it at 3 in the morning, which I don't mind, but
Well, you got the rest of the year to do that because somebody released a calendar, and it looks like quite possibly Disney is releasing something new.
Reddit.
What's that?
If it's Reddit, I don't want to hear it.
No, I don't know where I saw it, but it was a calendar. Yo. A calendar of release dates, and every Friday for this entire year is going to be something new from Disney.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, they released the March calendar for like what's being released on what days and stuff. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I thought Leo was going to spoil something.
No. This was
Yeah.
Okay. I can hear Yo-Yo laughing, but it's little Yo-Yo's muted, so I can hear it in my head. Yo-Yo laughing. And
Treasures of the Caribbean.
Yeah. So let me see if I can do this. I'm going to show you guys this before we.
Are we gonna get like shut down and no longer
No.
monetized?
well, it looks like Puyo Puyo Tetris, so show us this quick before Nintendo shuts us down.
Okay. Where is
It's a Neo Geo game. I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah. So I got Big Box up and running, and you guys should hear it. There we go. So this is like the main overlay to pick your systems. It's all graphical. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yo-Yo's like, I'm recording this, sending it to Nintendo.
Oh yeah, Nintendo Satellaview. Oh, it doesn't show anything. Yeah, Game Boy Color.
Oh, the only thing I'm gonna play on Game Boy is my Pokemon. What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? Yeah.
What have you been playing, Leo?
No, this is all randomized. There we go. So is there anything in particular you guys want to see?
GoldenEye and 64.
Okay. GoldenEye and 64.
You just passed it.
I did.
Someone leaked what was supposed. It was supposed to be on. It was supposed to be on. What do you call it? Xbox Live Arcade, and someone leaked the entire footage. It's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be ported to Xbox Live Arcade in 2007.
Yeah.
And now you can get it through emulation.
But you can get everything through emulation.
So how do we get access to this, Leo? You tell us off the air.
Oh yeah. I have just about 13,000 games loaded now. I don't know why it's not starting.
Because you have to push start.
Yeah, I'm hitting start. escape for a second. There's you can also up the resolution on it, I saw. There's something else I was going to show you guys. Oh yeah, check this out. I got arcade to work. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Come on. Come on. What the heck? I was playing Return of the Jedi the other day, the old arcade. There we go. Did you guys ever play this in the arcade?
No, Leo, I was not born at that point in time. I definitely was not born.
1984?
I was not alive.
There we go. My controller wasn't plugged in.
Well, that solves a lot of things.
-4.
What's that?
I was -4 when this came out.
You were -4?
Wow, that was fun. Thank you, Leo.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There we go. Now it's working.
Facebook has kicked us off yet for copyright.
Yeah. Okay, I'll stop. Come on. Here's a little Ewok. Yum nug. Yeah, if it's something you guys want to mess around with, I can send you information on it. But yeah,
I'm okay with that. Definitely.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't take too much of a computer to run it. You know, if you have, yeah. Okay, I think we'll wrap things up unless there's something else you guys want to chat about before we go.
No, I got everything off my chest.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. And we'll start with Steven. Where do you like people interacting with you?
You can follow Super Retro Throwback Reviews on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Episode 134 of our podcast, all the Ron things and all the Ron places. If you know what we talked, the latest Mandalorian news that came out. That was the hint of the title. That comes out Monday. And our CSI podcast comes out every Friday. We'll be starting up season 3 soon. We also have a Patreon, obviously, if you can tell, right there. We have our new backer, Leo, and you can back us on Patreon. We have a $1 tier and a $3 tier. So if you want to request a movie for us, like Leo did, Leo comes out in a couple weeks, so hold your horses. You want to vote on what top 10s we do or anything like that, you can get an exclusive Patreon exclusive episode every week. Back us on Patreon.
Okay. Yo.
I'm gonna unmute myself and hope that it's not horribly echoey. So I do apologize for that. I have no clue what's going on there. But please follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You also Laurent on those same social media channels. James?
You can find me here at for my tweets and Instagrams at Longtime Storm, as well as you can follow my other podcasts It's Go Time with Jay and James. We just recorded our 25th episode. That should be out tomorrow morning. It's a potpourri episode. So we talk about a little bit of everything. So definitely check it out. But also, too, if you guys are looking for something for interesting to watch, don't forget tomorrow at 2:30, the Martian rover will be landing. So check that out if you want to watch something that's pretty cool. And it'll be like on NASA.com or NASA.gov and NASA.tv and stuff. So check it out. I remember watching when Curiosity landed. That was pretty cool. Watching all the live footage from like JPL and stuff. So something cool, something different to break up your day a little bit. So check that out. Woo.
Okay. And for me, just Google Leopold. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. But what you will see is I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network, which you can find over 30 shows on the network. And you can find me here every Wednesday, multiple times on Wednesday, because we also do Token Dead earlier, or still Token with. And Tuesdays is our Splash Pages, the comic book club. And Mondays is Indie Creator Spotlight. And I just wanted to show this real quick. So I become addicted to Lee Bermejo art. And I don't know if you can see that. He has a new art book, which is awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I've been on the hunt for his back issues. And with that, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.